Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, January 14th. So welcome to the last quarter moon in Libra. We will be having later on this evening, the moon in Libra, of course, all day. And we are striving for balance. We are striving to make peace. We are looking for harmony. But of course, many of us will experience the extremes in order to actually find that middle ground. We have 8 different aspects here today, and 6 of them involve the moon. So the moon in Libra will be trining a beautiful energy with its ruler, Venus, who is in Aquarius energy. We get some air on air action here. So Venus, of course, in Aries energy, she's looking to kind of have a little bit more independence and freedom in her relationships. She's exploring, she's experimenting on what that actually means, pushing the boundaries of her worth, of her value, really kind of experimenting with how her values, what is important to her, who and what makes her happy is constantly changing, recognizing where boundaries are definitely needed moving forward in order for her to feel a little bit more safe and secure and stable. And the moon in Libran energy is just providing a little bit of a perspective on where we need to compromise, where we need to make peace in our relationships, make peace within ourselves, where it is that we can kind of focus on the smaller things in life, where we can negotiate, if you will, what those boundaries need to look like in order for everyone to get along. Because of course, in Libran energy, that is what the goal is. We just want everybody happy, everybody getting along with one another. The sun is going to make a very tough interaction with its ruler, Saturn. So of course, the sun is in Capricorn energy. Saturn is in its nether place of power in Aquarian energy. It is the traditional ruler over Aquarian energy. And having the sun kind of interact with Saturn in this way is likely going to bring a little bit of heaviness, a little bit of weight. Why? Because the Lord of Karma definitely wants us to boss up and see where our to-do list is getting too long, where it is that roles and responsibilities need to kind of be completed. And yeah, the sun in Capricorn wants us to think long-term, wants us to set out some long-term goals for ourselves, wants us to start building towards our goals and our visions. But Saturn is here to remind us that before we get to building, we have a lot of things to wrap up first and foremost. Now, Saturn's whole time in Aquarian energy should be illuminating to us where it is that we have a sense of duty, a sense of responsibility to other people. But in that, recognizing where boundaries are needed so that we don't continue to compromise what we want, need, and desire just to do what we think other people want us to do. So there's a lot of weight that comes here. And in a day where we're building towards the last quarter moon, we are going to feel the tension, the conflict, the heaviness, the weight. It is designed this way because we come up with a solution once the last quarter moon hits. The intensity that builds brings the attention, the awareness to the conflict, to the tension. And then after we kind of reach that boiling point, a solution suddenly arises and we know how to balance the scales in our lives once again. The moon is going to interact with Uranus in not such the nicest way, give us a little bit of a choice point, an opportunity to implement a new method, a new way of doing things. Uranus, of course, the great awakener, likes to shock us, likes to awe us. There's a little bit of an element of expecting the unexpected. But he is retrograde in Taurus energy, and that whole vibe should be illuminating to us where it is that we're a little bit fearful to let go of some elements of our past in order for us to move on. And the moon in Libra is just encouraging us to maybe, instead of, fully let go, just to loosen the grip just a tad and see what opens up for us when we're not so consumed with trying to hold on to all the old. The moon goes ahead, bumps into Neptune in a tough position as well. We're really struggling here to align with our higher self, to align with our intuition. We are struggling to stay on the positive side of this energy. And instead, what we might find is a lot of indecisiveness, a lot of disassociation, like we don't want to deal with reality at all. We just want to curl up in a ball and just kind of wait this through. This is going to definitely put us in a situation where we just kind of want to numb. We don't want to deal with things right now. And as the intensity builds towards this last quarter moon, it is absolutely, I'm going to say, natural for us to feel this way. The moon goes ahead, bumps into Mars, which isn't going to help things very much. We had Mars just go direct, which means that we're triggered, we're activated, we're agitated, we're frustrated, we're angered. Why is that, you might ask? Well, because we thought that once Mars was going to go direct, that we're going to be able to take some action, make some moves out in the world. But guess what? There are no moves to make right now. We aren't really gifted with that green light go until after Mercury goes direct and they work together in order to kind of achieve some smaller term goals. But right now, you best believe that we are frustrated. We have a lot of ideas, a lot of decisions, a lot of choices that, of course, while Mars was retrograde, we were torn over. The moon in Libra is the most indecisive energy that we could possibly ever have anyway. So this is just kind of exasperating our frustration on not being able to decide, not being able to make a choice, not being able to make a move. And it does not feel good. The moon goes ahead, trines, which is a beautiful energy, with Saturn. This is going to put us in a totally different vibe because I'm going to say the weight that we would have experienced earlier in the day, that soul crushing weight of our to-do list, of the roles and responsibilities that we have on, making choices and taking action and all that kind of stuff. We're not feeling the weight as heavily with this particular interaction. Emotionally speaking, we feel like, you know what? We're kind of okay. We're building ourselves up. We're ready to accept new roles and responsibilities. We're ready to make some changes in our realm if it means providing peace and harmony and balance in our lives. And, we're kind of, I'm going to say, rising to the challenge that we would have been just exasperated under earlier in the day, that now we're feeling a little bit more ready and prepared to jump into. Now, Venus is going to square, get into the boxing ring with Uranus. Let me just say that this isn't going to be fun. First of all, we're struggling with our lives right now. Our tasks, our chores, our routines just feel so freaking heavy and weighted and mundane and boring. And, some relationships are coming to head because, of course, it's an awkward energy for Venus to be in Aquarius energy anyways. Venus loves relationships. She loves closeness. She loves connection. She loves intimacy. But in Aquarian energy, she wants independence. She wants freedom. She wants the space to dance to the beat of her own drum. We're getting restless here. We had Mars just go direct. We have this underlying aggression and agitation just pushing us forward. There is this whole kind of, I'm going to say, debate between the connection that we want and the intimacy that we want, but yet the space that we want and the independence that we want. It's a cluster F of energies, and we're really going to be battling it out. But what we know to be true is that anytime we enter into a square, yes, it doesn't feel good, but we always come out on the other end knowing what we have to do to resolve it. 9:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the sun and the moon squaring, getting into the boxing ring. This is what gives us our last quarter moon in Libra. Essentially speaking, the moon in Libra representing our emotions, our unconscious self, and elements of the past. The sun shining a bright light in Capricorn energy, showing us what we have to focus on, what we have to build, what it is that we have to manifest. We're coming together. We're fighting it out. We know we have to let go of some things. We know we have to compromise. We know we have to negotiate, all very much Libran energy things. We know what we have to build. We know what we have to boss up to. We know what it is that we have to create if we stand a chance in creating long-term strong foundations. And what we're left with is this present moment of here and now, realizing how do we get from where it is that we're at to where it is that we want to be. And it may not feel good, but again, what comes out of it is a realization on the solution that we have to come up with in order to build the bridge, to bridge the gap to where it is that we're at, to where it is that we desire to be.